Kate, have you got another speaker for me?
Yeah, we've got Adrienne in the room.
Adrienne, and I guess your last name is pronounced Toghraie?
Toghraie.
Toghraie, where is it from?
It's an ancient Persian name,
Wow.
but my heritage is Greek.
Great. I can see how that happens. And where are you broadcasting from today?
Virginia.
Great. Well, you go ahead and get your PowerPoint up there and I'll give your introduction. Adrienne is considered by an expert by our peers in the financial community for coaching traders, brokers, and investors to their next level of success. Her 13 books on the psychology of trading have been highly praised by financial magazines. Adrienne's public seminars and private counseling have achieved a wide level of recognition and popularity, as well as her television appearances and keynote addresses at major industry conferences. Adrienne has coached some of the most successful people in the world. What makes these great people unique? What makes them so successful? The answers to these and other questions are explored in her seminars, books, CDs, DVDs, and our summit today. Adrienne, thanks for joining us today. You have until 5 minutes before the hour, where we'll give away our last batch of prizes for today.
Well, thank you so much, everybody at Investor Summit, for having me today. If you're looking for someone to be teaching you about trading, I'm not the person. I work with traders on the psychology of trading. In my years as a trader's coach, I've seen and identified the path of evolution of a trader from novice to mastery. So I created a model by putting traders into categories. This does not mean, however, that a trader has to experience every one of these categories in order to be a profitable trader. If a trader knows and chooses to make the right choices from the start, he can be like the few traders I've known that have made money from the start, but it's my experience that most traders won't. I've put together these 5 categories of traders in order for you to identify where you are and what you have to do to get to your next level of success. So the first category is what I call the into-wishing trader. The first category, the into-wishing trader, is the type of trader who comes into trading and doesn't treat it like a business. Perhaps he has read 1 or 2 books on the subject, such as Trading for Dummies, and maybe his education makes him think he can be a top trader because he's intellectually advanced. But the fact is that trading is a separate business from other businesses. So rather than doing the hard work required to get up to speed in this new field, he's into wishing that he will succeed. The second type of into-wishing trader is the mechanical trader who refuses to give up the fact that his system that he took over 2 years to put together doesn't work in current market conditions. The third type is the floor trader who assumes that he has the ability to do electronic trading without adjusting to the skills of computer trading. And I've worked with many floor traders. The fourth type is the trader who has been a buy 'em and hold 'em person of the past and thinks that the same rules apply in current markets. While there are traders who do earn profits as investment traders, the rules of the past don't always apply. In order to be successful, the into-wishing trader has to get into another category, because if he stays in this category, he will lose money and he'll find that trading is not a viable way to earn a living. So why are into-wishing traders stuck in this category? Well, first of all, they don't know any better because they've isolated themselves. They don't listen to the kind of speakers that are in the summit. Or they're too stubborn to make changes in their system or themselves because it costs time, money, and they might have to face their demons. They think that because they received a high education in another field, this automatically entitles them to earn money as a trader with no education. The fact is that people go into being a doctor, a lawyer, an engineer, and they pay thousands, hundreds of thousands of dollars sometimes. And you come into the business of trading where you can make a huge amount of money, but you don't invest in yourself. Or number 4, they don't have the resources. I talked about intelligence. You have to have emotional intelligence. You have to have street smarts. Don't have the money. I call money inventory for your business, because if you think of it as money, you're afraid to lose money. But if it's inventory for your business, it's something that you need to operate your business. They don't have the education. The education you need in trading is you need a system or methodology. It's better to have a mentor. And you have to have the psychological part of trading, the education and the psychological part of trading, or else you're not going to get to the top. They don't have the time. Now, when I'm talking about time, I'm talking about energy time. What I mean by energy time is if you're working all day and you decide that you're going to be a 2-hour trader at night and you're tired, you associate being tired with trading, and that's never a good thing. You don't have the support. You need the support of your family. You need the support of someone who will bring you up faster than you could bring yourself up by yourself. Or number 5, they let others influence them in the wrong direction. You know, it's fine to get influence from other people, but ultimately you have to make your own decisions. What do you have to do to get out of this category? First of all, you have to decide if trading is really for you. You have to have the passion for it. And what I mean by passion is that you're going to stay in trading for the long haul. You're going to stay in trading because you love it. If you don't love it, this isn't going to work for you, because you're going to go through drawdowns and it's going to get very, very scary at times. You have to be committed to stay through for the long haul. You have to gather the resources, the money, the inventory that you need, the knowledge, and you have to develop and follow a plan. Now, I have found stories that motivated traders to realize that no matter what their situation, if there's passion, there's a way. The story I'm about to tell you is a true story about a truck driver named Carl, who dropped out of school in the 7th grade because he did not have a choice. His father died and his mother could not hold a job because she was dying of cancer. Carl had to support his mother and his younger sister. He first ran a tractor and did on and end jobs around the farm. When he was old enough, he took to the roads as a truck driver. As a truck driver, he had a lot of time to listen to talk show radio. One day, there was a motivational speaker who asked, "How do you define yourself?" He answered out loud to himself, I'm a high school dropout who will never be more than just a truck driver." The announcer gave him just enough time to answer before he said, "What would you like that answer to be?" Carl thought for a quick second and said, "I would like to be smart, wealthy, and handsome." Then he was asked, "What can you do to start right now to make what you want happen?" Carl started using the time in his truck to study for his high school equivalent, continued to how-to books for the next several years. One evening at a hotel stop, he heard an infomercial asking, "Do you want to be rich beyond your dreams?" and continued to give advice about how to become a trader. Carl immediately said yes, bought the course, and scheduled himself to trade a few hours a day from his laptop. He hit a wall of doubting himself, his ability, and whether he was stretching too far when he lost over $50,000. That was the money that he got from selling the farm. Fortunately, Carl decided to go to a trading conference and chose the right person to mentor him to become a trader. He had many pitfalls along the way. I met Carl at a conference he attended in Las Vegas. Now Carl is a successful trader. It takes passion that motivates you to do hard things to be a trader. If you have it, then you could overcome being an intuition trader. The next category, and hopefully this works, good, is the gimme trader. These are traders who want the answers from others. Maybe they get answers from chat rooms, or they align themselves with another trader who gives them direction, or they buy a system or methodology and don't test it. but ultimately they're not responsible for their own decisions, but base them on the advice of others. The second set of traders in this category gives their money to others, such as brokers or money managers who can make money for them. However, most brokers are not traders. And while there are some brokers who actually make money for their clients, for the most part, a broker is in the business to churn positions to increase their own money resources and not trading decisions that are based on what their firms are pushing that day. But on the other hand, I do have clients who are reputable and earn good money for their clients. So do due diligence before hiring a broker and research the broker's firm compliance record as well as the compliance record of the individual broker. You want to know where your hard-earned money is going. I do recommend that you have two accounts, however, one where you're paying the lowest commission and another where you have the advantages of a service broker. Many brokers have access to information that will make it worthwhile for you to maintain full brokerage services. In some brokerage firms, you can have access to both services. I've seen a lot of things in my days as a traders coach. Some parts of the financial arena I think are dreadful. A bank in Europe where I did a seminar took the profits of traders, gave them to their managers, and cooked the books to declare losses for their customers. The reason I know this is that several of the traders in the seminar asked me how they should handle this. They knew that they would get fired if they did not cooperate, and they knew that they would be blacklisted if they did. I told them that if it were me, I would find another job and quit. Fortunately, that bank was purchased by another bank. Hopefully, they're not doing such practices today. I have many other horror stories that are not restricted to Europe. There are two types of money managers. Unregulated money managers are traders who can only trade a certain amount of money and usually only for their friends or family. These money managers present you with a big risk because you can't check their background. Just because they have a lot of money doesn't mean that they can make you money. That may be they may be enjoying a luxurious lifestyle simply because others gave them money to manage, not because they have the ability to make money for their clients. On the other hand, it is easy to check the track record of regulated money managers because they are required by the SEC and other regulatory agencies to present you with their track record. Well, of course, in Madoff's case, he was giving false statements and cooking the books. I'd say that the best money managers return between 3 to 5% at this time. It used to be 8 to 20%, but it's no longer the case. If you're looking at those money managers who produce a high return, you're also looking at money managers who are usually not risk adverse, perhaps in the long run are not able to keep up with this kind of momentum. Question is, do you have the ability to manage your money managers? Do you trust yourself enough to choose the right one for you to do their job? So why are they stuck in this category? First of all, they don't have or lost their confidence. If you lose your confidence in trading, you have to go back to square one. Always go back to the basics. They want other people to take the responsibility. Responsibility means taking action and taking your and making decisions based upon what you choose rather than what other people choose. They don't have the time or energy. And remember, I talked about time and energy being connected together. You have to have the energy for when you're trading and use that energy time for trading. They're afraid to leave the security of their paycheck. You know, most people grow up with their family bringing a paycheck home, paying the bills. And if you see that in your life, when you don't have that regular income coming in, it can get very scary. Being a trader means being an entrepreneur. And sometimes you can make money for for a long period of time, and sometimes you dry up. I suggest you have enough money where you can support yourself for at least 6 months before you could go into trading full time. So what do you have to do to get out of this category of being the gimme trader? Build your self-worth, your self-esteem. Do things that will make you grow as a person as well as a trader, and build your resources. And we talked about resources before. The next category, and I would venture to guess that most of you are in this category, and that's the struggling trader. This category includes a wide range of traders, because a trader in this category can make no money or he can make millions of dollars. What is true for all of these traders is that they are inconsistent. That inconsistency can be on a daily basis, a quarterly basis, yearly basis. The fact is that they're not consistently bringing in the return that their system or methodology will allow. Traders in this category are missing part of the equation that makes them traders who are able to receive the total benefits for their system. Now, there's a wide range within the 3 types of struggling trader. The first can range from someone who is not making money, to someone who is breaking even, to someone who is making and losing money. These traders have not necessarily received the type of education necessary to feel confident about their ability or their methodology. These are traders who perhaps didn't put together a business plan that includes their system or methodology and contingencies of everything that could go wrong or right, and the best possible outcomes to keep them in the game and make them accountable to themselves. Or they haven't kept a daily journal to identify where their inconsistencies are in following their rules, or they haven't done periodic reviews to improve on their system. These traders are just beginning to realize that discipline is the key to making profits. But at this point, they're not willing to invest in more than a book about discipline issues, or they haven't back or forward tested their system so they can feel confident that they have a system that has the probability of being successful. Until they have taken all of these steps necessary to get to the next category, they will remain inconsistent. And just about 25 years ago, there was very little education available for a trader. So a trader either had to learn to fail his way to success or sort out the few traders who are willing to mentor them. In this day and age, there are almost too many so-called trading schools that are willing to teach what they believe to be what you need to be successful. It's important that you do due diligence in seeking out what's right for you. If you have the resources, I recommend a school that gives an overall education before they specialize. If you're working with limited funds, then read books about traders so you can figure out whom you identify with and then get an education specific to that type of trading. The second type of struggling trader is someone who has given himself a good education and has a business plan, but only brings in enough money to support his income, or is always struggling to feel confident he will last another day in trading. These traders have not taken the time to handle their psychological issues that keep them from being a top trader, and sometimes don't see the need for it or make fun of it. The third type of struggling trader is someone who is making a comfortable living or even a great deal of money from trading, but knows that if he was consistent, he would be earning a lot more. Perhaps he has even looked into the psychology of trading and taken a seminar, has done private work and has improved his results, but knows that he still has more to work on to be as successful as the system will allow. There's a fellow that I worked with many moons ago who came to me after a seminar that I did for his trading company, which was they were trading gas. And he said, I want to trade like the big boys do. Now, this is a fellow who brought in 10 million. He made 20% on that 10 million that year. And he says, I want you to be my secret weapon. I don't want anybody to know that we worked together. So we worked together for a couple of days. And the next year he called me up and he said to me, well, I made 32 million this year. I'm still not trading like with the big boys. And I'd like to work with you again. Now, at this point in time in my career, I thought that I handled all of the issues that we needed to work on. But what I did learn from him is psychology for people is like an onion. You peel away one skin and you get another skin and you get another skin. So we worked together again. And next year he was in the 50 millions and wanted to work again. Well, we did this for several years until he got to 108 million, I think it was. And he said, you know what? I think I'm trading like the big boys do. Now, you might not consider him a struggling trader, but the fact is that he was always working to get to that next level of success. He wasn't at a point where he couldn't improve. So I put him in this category. So why are traders stuck in this category? They're not consistent. Remember what I said on a daily, weekly, monthly basis. I have another story. I work with someone in New York Mercantile Exchange. And he came up to me one day and said, you know, Adrienne, every year at about September, I lose a great deal of money. And I don't understand why. Well, when asked him a few questions, I found out that he was taking his wife's kind of vacation and not his kind of vacation. She liked to go to shows and to Vegas and to Europe. But when he was a child, how he got his relaxation was going hunting and going fishing and going with nature. So I said, your body is telling you that you need your own vacation, but you also have to take your wife's vacation or else you'll have other problems too. So there's an example of someone that was inconsistent on a yearly basis, and there was an underlying psychological problem. Number two, they need to overcome their self-sabotage. Self-sabotage is usually defined by fear of success, fear of failure, fear of being wrong, fear of loss, or they have limiting beliefs. They don't believe they can achieve success. They don't believe they can achieve high success. They don't believe that they can be master traders, or they have conflict. Part of them says go, part of them says no, part of them says you're right, part of them says take the trade, not take the trade. And when you have that kind of conflict, you usually make bad choices. So what do you have to do to get out of this category? Build your technical skills, raise your ability for taking risk. And when I say raise your ability for taking risk, you should only take risk that is in alignment with your strategy. And it's based upon your testing. If you want to take more risk that your system doesn't allow, then you have to relook at your system and test your system based on more risk. You have to build your inventory. That means the money that you have for your trading account. You have to have a savings account. You have to have a account for your family, for your children's education. You have to have an account for your retirement, and you have to have an account for your trading. I asked one trader, I remember, how much is in your trading account? 2,000. How much is your savings account? 2,000. How much is? They were all 2,000, and they were all the same account. If you don't have enough foundation, monetary foundation to be a trader, you're going to have fear of loss. Get the environment support you need. If your family calls you a gambler, if people in your life say that you don't know what you're doing, if you can't get their support, and it's going to bother you and it's going to affect your trading. Build your self-values, your self-esteem, your anytime you do something different, you're adding to the neural networking of your brain released, repressed emotions. Now, what do I mean by repressed emotions? If you make money and lose it, make money, lose it, you have emotions that you have not handled from the past. And if you don't handle those emotions, you're going to lose. Overcome self-sabotage, what I talked about before, fear of success, fear of failure, fear of being wrong, fear of loss, and all of those conflict issues and belief system issues. So, fourth category of trader is what I call the average good trader. This is a trader who is consistent about making money, who follows his rules. This type of trader also has a wide range of return, depending upon how much trading capital he has to work with, what level of return his particular system will yield, and how much he's willing to risk. And if he's been willing to do whatever is necessary to develop his psychology for it to bring out the best in him. While traders might not have an issue of being consistent, they still might have an issue that stands between them and their next level of success. The average good trader will have a solid, successful, and long-term career as a trader, and all beginning traders would be fortunate to reach this level of trading. So how have they reached this level of trading success? They have completed everything a trader needs to do, gathering resources and having a solid support system. Several years ago, I read a study where only 11% of the people that come into this business actually make money. And of those people, the average trader makes only 25% a year. Can you live on 25% of your trading capital? Most people can't. So what I would suggest for most people is to supplement your income from your for your full-time job, and be a full-time trader at 2 hours a day. In fact, my traders, most of them work only 2 hours a day as full-time traders. So what does a trader need to do to become a master trader, which is the next category? He has to trade. He's a trader who has done everything necessary to be a top trader, and then goes one step beyond mechanical indicators by adding a filter of intuition. There are many excellent trading systems out there. Gann, Elliott Wave, Ross Hook, just to name a few. And there are many traders who teach these type of systems, but unfortunately, there are so many, also many traders who discovered that these systems don't work for them. Traders who teach these systems don't teach the intuitive part, because most people have to learn that on their own. And while many of you have had the experience of knowing where a trade will go, knowingness that is beyond your mechanical indicators, most people can't quantify it, that filter it or identify it as something that they can rely on. An intuitive trader can. These intuitive master traders know how to work with their right and left brains to synergistically to balance their logical and creative side. Reliable intuitive trading is something that I have taught many of my clients with great success. It's not something that traders should try to do on their own without handling their psychological issues first. However, many traders attempt to do this and find that it is disastrous for their bank account. But those traders who do take the steps necessary to fully train themselves as traders and handle all of their psychological issues can become intuitive master traders. At this point, they are ready to reap the top rewards of their profession. So how do they reach this level? They have a system or methodology that they believe in because it was tested. They can follow their business, they follow their business plan and set of rules. They have overcome their psychological issues, and they have developed a reliable intuitive indicator. So what do you have to do to maintain this level of competency? Maintain physical, emotional, and mental health. Maintain psychological balance. Stretch to the optimal level of risk. And monitor and improve your intuitive skills. Remember Carl, the truck driver turned trader? I would say that he was one of my best clients because he came the longest way and made it very big on his own. Sometimes a person needs one boost, one motivational kick, someone who believes in them, or all of the above. But first, you need to allow yourself to hear the answers to what you're looking for. Then you need to take action, make a plan, and follow through on that plan. You need to allow for the bumps in the road, and you need to support your neurology along the way by taking care to improve your psychology. Carl, the truck driver, is now a multimillionaire as a result of trading and has earned a degree in finance. He's now going for his master's and is happily married man with 3 children. The only thing that he didn't get from his initial wish is that he's still not handsome, but I don't think Carl would believe you if you told him that. Well, I look forward to meeting you on your path to becoming a master trader. Please go to my website, tradingontarget.com. And I'm going to present an offer to you right now. And this offer will be available to the end of the week. And I will tell you how you get it. First of all, I have my Trading on Target home study course, normally $600 online. In this course, you receive an evaluation and consultation with me that is probably worth the payment of the whole course, because I can tell you where your psychological issues are and how to overcome them. There's a business plan that you need. Just by filling it out, you'll become a more competent trader. There's a life plan, and there are the Winning Edge 1, 2, 3, and 4 books. Plus, what you don't see over here are the ebooks that you would get right away. And there are the CDs as well. Now, if you call me at 919-851-8288, I might be too busy. So what's best for me is that you contact adtoghraie@gmail.com and give me a time to call you. And I will just give you a price. I'm not going to give you a sales pitch or anything like that. I will just give you a price and you say yes or no. And if you want to ask any questions at that time, I'd be willing to answer those questions. It will be a very deep discount. Now I'm open for questions. And while you're writing your questions, if you do have questions to ask, and remember, this has to be on the psychology of trading, I have a fishbowl here with a whole bunch of questions in it. And I will ask myself those questions and answer those questions while you ask questions. Why am I so afraid of losses, even the small ones? When you think back to everything that's ever happened in your life that was bad, there was a loss attached to it. And that is an anchor in the timeline of your life so that you are afraid of losses. So that what happens is when you're trading and you have losses in your trading, the first one, it might not affect you. The second one might not. But when you get to the third or fourth, you go to the place in your neurology where you have all of those losses stored. And then all of a sudden, an anchor of loss is ignited, and you feel that pain of loss, and then you make bad choices. After this happens a few times to you, you don't even think of the losses of the past. All you get is that emotional feeling inside of you, and you don't know why you're getting it, just with the first loss that you have in a series of losses in trading. So you have to work with someone to handle the losses of the past in order to so that they don't affect you now. I'm going to ask if there are any questions. Just jump in if there are any questions that you see on the screen. What can I do about a limiting belief that if I make a certain amount each day, then that is it, and I stop trading? Bottom line in trading is that you have to have rules and you have to follow those rules. And if your part of your trading is that you stop after a certain hour, if you stop after a certain amount of making money, after you stop after certain things happen in the market, you have to stick to those rules no matter what. That's the only way that you're going to eventually become a disciplined trader. I'm going to continue to ask myself questions unless there's anybody out there that wants to ask me questions. What are some of the bigger lessons that a trader must learn? The first thing a trader must learn is if you have the passion for it, and if you have the patience, and if you have the money, and if you have the support, you can make it in this business. There's so many people that say to me, I've never met a successful trader. Yeah, I hear people on the internet that say they're successful traders, but I don't see the evidence of it. Are there successful traders, or is it just people that are working for the big companies, or people that have these big machines that are making money? Well, I've been in this business since 1989, and I can tell you that there are many individual traders that make money in trading, but you have to do the right things in order to be successful. Another big lesson is that you have to have enough money. You have to have enough inventory. People come into this business with 2,000 and think that they're going to make millions. Yeah, there have been people that have done that, but that's very, very, very rare. Wait till you have enough money that you could at least supplement your income so that you can feel good about what you're bringing in as a trader. And then when you get enough money that you live on 25%, or get it out of the category of average trader and become a successful trader, then you can give up your day job and go into trading full time, or not full time 8 hours, but full time for traders. Okay, here's another one. Still no questions, I guess. In your many years of coaching, what are the main reasons traders fail? Traders fail because they don't have the passion for it. They pick the wrong teachers. They're afraid. They have all the self-sabotage issues of fear of success, fear of failure, fear of loss, and they have conflict issues. The people in their life don't support them, and those are the reasons traders fail. Okay. Tell me some stories about big transformations of people that you've worked with. Oh, there's so many. Let me talk about a trader who was from Texas, and he came to me. He had enough money for trading. He had an account that was like 200,000. He was making $200-300 a day, but he worked like 16 hours a day. His wife said to me, he doesn't have a life. He doesn't give us time. He doesn't give the children time. And I saw him. He was 35 years old and was shaking. So I said, if you're going to work with me, I'm going to cut you down to 2 hours a day, and that's all you get. you're going to have to figure a way of working only 2 hours. You know, yes, you can research and do other things in your day, but only 2 hours on trading. And last time I met him, he was making $2,000 to $3,000 a day. So it's one story. Another story about a fellow from Canada, and he was making good money, but he wanted to be a multimillionaire. And I said to him, "Why do you want to do that?" And he says, "Because I want to help people." And that passion for helping people was the thing that made him successful. So making money just to have it in the bank, making money just because you like money, just making money just because you like to see that you're winning, is not necessarily enough of a passion that will get you to do the right things to make money in the market. Okay. Why do I find it difficult to take a trade, even though I can identify the trade setup well? Well, again, you know, it's all the sabotage issues of fear of success, fear of failure, and all that. But, you know, if you're seeing a trade that will work, what is going on in your head at that point in time? You probably are saying, what happened the last time? Am I sure this is going to work? Suppose I lose enough that I won't be able to trade anymore. And you have this blah, 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 blah going on in your head. So what I recommend for traders is they have a list of things that they do, you know, how they get into the trade, how they get out of the trade. And there's nothing in between making a decision about the trade and getting into the trade. There's no dialogue in between. That's not always easy for a lot of people that have fear issues. After I reach my daily goals, should I reset them or end early? Again, it gets back to your trading rules. If your trading rules say you're supposed to quit at that point in time, you quit at that point in time. Even if the market is doing the kind of thing that will make you more money, unless you have a rule about trading. If the market is doing X, Y, Z, then I can extend my trading day to, and give yourself a certain amount of time, or give yourself a certain amount of rules for that particular moment. Still, people aren't asking questions, so I guess
Adrienne, I actually see a couple of questions in the chat box over here. Do you want me to read them off to you?
Absolutely.
Awesome. Cool. So this one comes from Jeff, and he says, I suffer from MS, multiple sclerosis, and consequently, I'm always suffering from either pain or more usually considerable discomfort. I'm thinking of trading full time, but do you think it's likely that it will be adversarially affected by my pain/discomfort?
My first answer is yes. And then my second answer is this. I met a fellow in Hawaii who was quadriplegic. He took four hours to get ready in the morning, and he suffered a great deal of pain. What is normal for you as someone with MS? What is normal for you? And if what is normal for you is a certain amount of pain, and you don't increase that pain with trading, then you can trade and be a successful trader. But you have to go back to the board trading rules and first try it in sim trading and see the results in sim trading. If you could trade in sim trading, then you can go on to real-time trading and see how it affects you then. If there is an increase of those feelings, or if your normal stays the same. First time I ever got that question. Next one.
Do you have any indicators to download for Ninja Trader 8?
I do not trade. I have traded in the past. There was one trader who traded who was euros. Yeah, he was trading euros. And I decided, because it was a simple system, that I would follow it. And I just wanted to get all those feelings and that the traders get, just to go through it myself. I did that for 6 months and I was successful, but I'm not a trader. This is not what I enjoy. What I enjoy is working with people who want to be successful in trading. Before working with traders, I worked with performers and people in the sports industry, and they had the same exact performance anxiety that traders have. Remember, I work with people to improve their success in trading, not from the standpoint of strategy, but from the standpoint of them following their rules. Any more questions?
Yeah. This one is from Jonathan. Is there a good practice or strategy to build positive mental psychology and maintain it regardless of the immediate results?
There are many good practices. One is meditation, and find a teacher that can teach you that, or just learn it from online. You want to get yourself in a place of being in alpha state. An alpha state is the first level of hypnosis. An alpha state is the first level of meditation, and you want to trade in that state. Look at everything that has happened in your life that was negative. Write it down in a sentence. You know, I lost the baseball game, or they kicked me off the hockey team, or I got fired in my job. I went through a divorce. Hold on, I need some tea. and then write next to it what you felt at that time, and then write the lesson that you learned, or what good happened as a result of it. And notice all the good that happened as a result of all the losses in your life. Most people have told me that all the negative things in their life had some positive outcome in the long run. There are times that you can't see the positive, but most time you can. So that's one of the things that you could do on your own. Next. Any more questions?
Yeah, I think there are a few. Let me pull one up. Okay, so how does one tell if they stop trading because they lack passion or because of something else that can be helped by education and coaching?
You know, I write screenplays, and I wake up early in the morning, and you know, I look forward to the next morning because I'm going to get on my computer and write the screenplay. There was one trader I worked with in Kansas. I remember going to his office. He was a very, very successful trader. And all the traders around him were coming to me. Oh, Adrienne, you're here, blah, 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 blah. And this one trader was just totally immersed in what he was doing. And they said, oh yeah, that's John. He doesn't hear anything. He is totally into what he's doing. So if you find that that you're not liking what you do because you have lost money, then go back to the drawing board and see if you like building the strategy, if you like seeing the possibility of being successful, and then try it again. And then if you lose interest at that next step, then you probably don't have the passion. If you don't keep coming back to trading, not because you're making money, but because you just absolutely love it, you shouldn't be doing this. Any more questions?
I think that was the last of the questions.
Okay, we have a couple more minutes. I'll give myself one more question. And what percentage of traders that you have seen have been able to come back from psychological trauma after a total account blow up? It depends upon whether they're willing to submit to a total transformation, psychological transformation. And those people that have been willing to do that and were successful traders before, a good percentage of them can come back. But if you're not willing to do have work with someone to do a change psychologically, then it's unlikely that you're going to come back because it's too devastating. Now, I'm just going to go back to this and remember that this particular course is normally $600 online. If you send me an email at adtoghraie@gmail.com and tell me time to call you, I will give you a significant discount, and this discount is only good till Friday. If you have any questions at that time that you feel were personal and you didn't want to ask them, then you could ask them at that time. I do have a special that I'm giving to the summit so that you can get this particular course. The only thing you have to do is pay for shipping charges, and some lucky person will get the course for free. Well, at this point in time, I would like to wish everybody a good afternoon and thank everyone at Investor Summit for having me. Sorry for the little glitch in the beginning.
All right, Adrienne, well, thank you very much for joining us today. And to take advantage of Adrienne's special offer, just click on the chat box on the right. You'll see in there it says tradingontarget.com. That'll take you to her dedicated sales page. Very interesting. I thought it was very insightful what you had to say, having been through this business myself for over 50 years. So thank you again, and I look forward to working with you in the future.
Thank you so much. Bye-bye.